We're back in the NJCAA Network studio as the JUCO baseball season cruises along. Zach McKinstry and Noah Sharp, and it's junior college hard 90. Noah, you had the Marion military jersey on last week. Any jersey love this week or no?
No, not this week. There was some weird weather this morning, so like couldn't grab a jersey like I wanted to. But hey, I'm still rocking the Howard. What brought me to the junior college world to begin with. I think I've wore this one a couple times last year. So no jersey this week. Maybe I'll bring that back next week though.
We'll see. It was a big time weekend for some Division II schools that we will dive into in a moment. But first, let's kick off with the biggest series we talked about last episode. Johnson County and Iowa Western playing 4 games over the weekend, and the Cavaliers won 3 of them. Friday's opener was the best of the bunch, a 4-3 pitchers duel that Iowa transfer Liam Roche dominated. 9 strikeouts and only 1 earned run in 5 innings of work. And then the Reavers dominated in Game 2, out-hitting Johnson County by 10. And the final 2 games, the Bats showed up for JCCC. 20 runs in 14 innings at the plate, highlighted by an Evan DeMario grand slam. So Noah, it was the first real test for Johnson County this year, and it looked like they passed with flying colors.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you remember last week, I think we said there's either going to be games where they blow each other out or there's going to be games where it's a pitcher's duel. And that, I mean, we had, I think, all 3 possibilities of what we said. Granted, we kind of hit everything. But I mean, it was one of the very first big tests for them. I mean, I'm looking at their next schedule or the rest of their schedule, and they're going right into Kansas play, a Region 6 play. And they really don't have a tough test really until the end of April, where they have Kansas City, Kansas, Fort Scott, and I believe Cowley all like back to back to back. So I mean, this really just goes to show that what they were trying to build in the offseason, building a team that can swing it, hit it with the best of them, that it can do it. And so I mean, they're in the driver's seat right now in Kansas until I think someone knocks them off, and them beating Iowa Western like they did just more cements that.
Oh, yeah. Johnson County getting some early season love from the NJCAA. Already have a player of the week nationally, getting a lot of shout outs here and then across the junior college baseball landscape. So look out for them as the season goes on. Let's go out west. We'll talk about a team that hasn't been to Grand Junction since 2014. The Cochise Apaches were ranked number 22 in the latest NJCAA poll. They played 3 games last week against number 15 Arizona Western and nearly had the sweep. Double-digit runs and hits in all 3 games. 16-8 the final in the first game, 10-1 in Game 2, and then they lost a shootout in the finale, 12-11. I also want to highlight Shidu Sato, who was must-see TV in this series. 10 RBIs and 5 extra base hits in 3 games after balling out at Division III Herkimer last year and then in the West Coast League last summer. He's fun to watch, and so is this Apaches team.
That was one of the guys that when I was putting together all my preseason stuff, I saw him at Cochise and I'm like, wait a minute. What why did he leave Herc? And I mean, obviously, Andy's got a wood bat. So I mean, he I believe for me he was an All-American. I believe he might have been for y'all, but he was a name that kind of like, oh, this was a big time, in junior college transfer. That doesn't always happen, especially that far of a distance. But I mean, looking at the beginning of the year, we had Cochise as our top team in Arizona, which isn't your normal top team. I mean, they've been kind of knocking on that door. And then what do they get this next week? I mean, we'll talk about it later, but they had the second best team in our eyes in Arizona or in that Region 1 with them moving from, I think, Region 18 to Region 1 in Southern Nevada. So, I mean, it's going to be a knockout for them this week, but we'll get to that here in a bit. But Cochise has shown that they are not the little brother there anymore in Arizona.
I mean, they were a 40-plus win team last year, and they definitely have the firepower to do that again this season as they try and navigate that West District. Let's talk about NJCAA Division II and the monster weekend they had. 3 different Division II teams had series wins over ranked Division I teams. So Pearl River kept rolling, taking 2 of 3 against number 19 Northwest Florida State. One of the top series we previewed last week was Jones against number 23 Shelton State, and Jones won 2 of 3 of those games. Every game was decided by 1 run. And then lastly, Murray State defeated number 10 LSU Eunice on the road, 4-3 in Game 1 and 15-8 in Game 2. And all 3 of those Division I teams are Grand Junction contenders. So what does that say about the talent that we're seeing at the Division II level?
I mean, we've said it a bunch, but it's like, I mean, at this level, if like Division 2, Division 3, like it's literally just a number on a piece of paper. Like with the talent that is throughout all the levels, all the divisions, like you can get got any given Sunday. And I mean, looking at it, I mean, Northwest Florida and Pearl River, they've played, I believe, like 2 of the last 3 years, they've played like a home series, or they just go and beat each other up the entire time. And then, I mean, Murray State and LSU Unis, they are no strangers to each other. I believe they've played a series against each other every single year around this time. And I'm pretty sure they've met up in Enid when Eunice was still that Division II team. So like they are really no stranger to each other at all. And then I mean Jones County, like we said, like they're kind of tired of being that like not you don't want to say second tier, but that third or fourth place team there in Mississippi when you have Pearl River and East Central just kind of running away with it. Jones, I mean, like we said last week, they're knocking on that door, and this win over Shelton State really just kind of springboards them really more into that top tier conversation, being one of those top teams there in Mississippi.
Yeah, so 3 really big wins for all of those teams. And then in Division III, a lot of teams just getting started last weekend. But the Dallas schools have already been rolling. Dallas Eastfield is out to a 15-3 start. They swept Cedar Valley with the finale on Saturday, finishing 22-20. That's 22 runs. They only had 3 runs through 4 innings in that game. 19 through the end of that game. Crazy stuff in Division III. Anything else stand out in NJCAA Division III last week?
I mean, East Central, we've said it before, but I mean they're kind of that top team now in Texas, and I'm excited to see. I believe it's next week. Joliet's doing their yearly Texas Bucky's trip, so we'll get some fun with that. But I mean, looking across the country, I mean, you had SUNY Niagara got started. For us, it was a top 10 matchup between them and Cayuga, and I mean Niagara handled both of those 11-1 and 13-3 or 13-0, sorry. But then another team that like a lot of people don't really know about is Ridgewater College over there in Minnesota. Like there's so many good schools in Minnesota that really get overlooked, but they had a 3-1 week. I mean, they beat Owens, who's another Division III power over there in Ohio. They beat them in a 2-game series, 9-8 and 6-5. And then they ended up beating Kalamazoo Valley. And then they lost to Brighton Stratton of Wisconsin, who's kind of sneakily been like really good this year. But I mean, there that just goes to show like even in Minnesota, it's not a team you're gonna like want to overlook when it comes. I mean, Century's obviously the top dog. State or St. Cloud Tech's a top dog there in Minnesota. But like there's a bunch of other teams over there that are itching to like put their name in that top tier there in that I think it's Region 13 there.
Yeah, and a couple of those teams are getting big experience coming up this weekend, and we'll have more on that in a second. We'll send you to break, and when we come back, upcoming schedule, some big games to watch on the slate this weekend.
For the last 87 years, the NJCAA has provided academic and athletic opportunities to thousands of student athletes. However, several rules make it more challenging for two-year college transfers. Recently, 16 national coaches associations, led by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association, sent a request for change to NCAA leadership to make the rules the same for all transfers. We commend their leadership and stand together in support of same game, same rules.
Good morning.
Why so serious? Great shot.
Car's 250. You got it.
Greenside bunker, land short.
Trust your line. There's plenty of green.
Brakes towards the water.
Lots of coaching today, huh? We're one up.
When you strive to be the best, you need the right insights. Zurich has insurance solutions and risk strategies to help prepare your business for tomorrow.
Welcome back to JUCO Hard 90. This is a massive week of early season junior college baseball coming up. And how about this 2-game series to get us started? 24-1 overall, and the NJCAA number 1 Chipola plays number 19 Northwest Florida State on Friday and Saturday. The first of 6 total games between these two teams in March alone. And I'm sure scouts are going to be crawling all over. You got a couple of Georgia natives and SEC bounce backs on the hill, Mekhi Grant and Clinton Harris. And then the bats for both teams have been explosive. 81 home runs already between the two sides. So what are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, these schools don't like each other, and I don't know any other way to really put it. It's fun. I mean, in any sport, right? You're gonna have the rivalries. But Chipola and Northwest Florida, like, I don't know how to like. It's like UT and OU, like they just don't like each other, and they never have ever since I've been covering it. But like, I mean, Chipola they've been one of the hottest teams. They probably played the best you can possibly play against the schedule that they've had. I mean, take out this last weekend where they scored 90 runs in 4 games and only gave up 15. I mean, they have wins over John A. Logan, Florida Southwestern, Pearl River, and Walter State. All of those are World Series contender teams. And then, I mean, they've really been hitting it hard. I mean, our ranking comes out, I believe, probably tomorrow, and they're our new number 2 team. So I believe this comes out after the fact. But hey, if it's not, oh well. And then Northwest Florida, I mean, they're our new number 22 team. Both were ranked preseason really high. But I mean, they played a little bit easier of a schedule. I mean, they had that series against Pearl River though, and that's really going to put a sour taste in their mouth. So they're going to come in swinging, and like you said, they're going to play each other a bunch. And whoever can get the upper hand here this early in the season, it's really gonna like pay for that back half of conference. I believe they play again in the back end of April, I think too. So this is really gonna put whoever's in the driver's seat in the panhandle, it's gonna really, really put them up there if they can like steal these 2 games, especially the rest of them down the line. I mean, I think it's gonna be close, but I think it's gonna edge out to Chipola just because of who they play too, and they're hot. They're the hot team right now. So like I might say the edge goes to Chipola, but they're gonna be closer games than probably like you would think.
Closer to your neck of the woods, it's a Texas clash of 2 other preseason top 10 teams, Blinn and Sanjak, both trying to set the tone in Region 14 South. They will have 3 more games after playing on Tuesday. They got Thursday at Blinn and then a doubleheader on Saturday at Sanjak. Keegan Chavez and Hayden Morris have been 2 bona fide aces for the 2 sides. So what's your prediction for this series?
This is a lot like that Northwest Florida Chipola series where like these 2 schools don't like each other. And to put it blank, or I guess back in my day, Sanjak was the big bad guy. Now Blinn's the big bad guy. So, I mean, love both staffs, love both teams, but like they're those top 2 teams in Region 14, and they're gonna play again back half of the year in April. So it's really gonna come down to who's gonna get the edge here. I believe this is what happened last year too. I think they split and then like their whole series split, which was kind of weird. But it's just whoever can get these early season wins, especially when you have those 2 different conference series, like it's gonna really either you're gonna, hey, let's just stay in front and keep our foot in the gas, or let's try to get those games back. I mean, Sanjak's played a tough schedule. Unfortunately, like we were kind of talking about off air, that preseason deal in Dallas got canceled. So like it kind of affected them a bit. But I mean, they've traveled out to Alabama. Blinn, they played a little bit nicer, a little bit tougher of a schedule, actually. I mean, they lost that series to McLennan 2 weeks ago. They split with Weatherford to open up the season. So they're going to be battle tested. But I mean, it's basically a David versus Goliath. And both those fields play very different. And it's going to be one. I'd assume the games are going to be on, what is it, the TSRN network, because they usually always are for that region. But it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a coin flip to really who gets it, and then it's off to the races from there for both of them.
Yeah, I think it's TSBN, and those games are going to be must watch. Another D1 that should be pretty good. We teased it earlier, but it's Cochise and College of Southern Nevada. So can the Apaches stay hot after the big series win last week and start to prove themselves as contenders in that West District? Or do you have the Coyotes continuing their hot start? They're 18-3 coming off a sweep of Yavapai.
I mean, to start the season, like we said, we had both of them. I think one was 19, one was 20. And the new poll coming out, we have Cochise at 11 and Southern Nevada at 10. So it's like these 2 teams are those top 2 teams, not I guess in Arizona, but in that region 1 since Nevada's come down. But I mean, Southern Nevada's played a tough schedule hosting those 2 preseason tournaments. Cochise really has been a hot start. And just like those other ones, they're going to play again back in the back end of April. And in Arizona, it's really, really important to just get those games, especially in your division, just because you play everyone in your division twice, but then you play everyone in conference once, but those games still count towards your conference standing. So it gets a little funky, but like if you can get a series sweep here, this is going to be huge down the line. I mean, any sweep of a conference game is going to be big, but it's just, these 2 are going to be, I mean, this is going to be classic, just baseball. I mean, it's weird to say, but you got the wood. You're going to have 2 teams that are both hot. And I mean, it's ball kind of does fly there in Arizona, but I mean, it's going to be close. I think one of the things I was kind of working with and messing with, a few coaches know what I've been working on, but it has Cochise kind of edging them just like slightly. I think like the difference was like a half a run in either direction. So it's going to be a lot closer than probably those other two on who will come out on top. But man, this is one if you could get to it, I would go to it.
Yeah, now you got three high quality NJCAA Division One matchups this weekend. Then as we look at Division Two and Division Three, some big games in Florida at the Russ Matt Central Florida Invitational this weekend. Primarily preseason number 22 Lansing plays Division II number 10 Frederick. That'll be a good one. And then after that, they play Division III number 2 Century. On top of that, SUNY Niagara will be down there, as well as a number of other schools from Minnesota. We talked about Ridgewater already. They're there. MNC Vermilion down there as well, and a number of others. So thoughts on the early season test for Lansing and the D2, D3 programs going down to Florida?
So I was talking to a coach because Lansing, I believe they went over to the Carolinas and then they kind of made their way down. But I was talking to a coach over there and he was like, Lansing is big and Lansing is they have all the size. They're big. I mean, they kind of ran into a juggernaut of East Central this past week, which East Central has been a wagon. I think we talked about them last week. So they're going to come into this weekend with a chip on their shoulder. Like you just got, I believe, swept in 4 games with them. You're going to come in swinging, trying to just prove that it was a fluke, right? And then for Frederick, they just got going. I believe they had a 4-0 week last week. They were our preseason number 1. Not your normal typical preseason number 1 for most people because Region 20 does have its stigma sometimes with Division 2. But then you have Century coming down. We kind of talked about it off air. And if you remember back to the World Series show last year, Century and Niagara both played each other at this last year. And I think it was the closest game Niagara had all year up until when they played each other in the first round of the World Series where Century got it back. So it's a weird tournament to say that there's like postseason implications in it or postseason matchups, but for the last few years, they've had some really kind of big, smaller matchups, if that makes sense. So it's going to be big for everybody. And I mean, Lansing, I think, is going to, we might look at some box scores later, and Lansing might have like run ruled people in 5 innings just to show that like East Central was a fluke, basically.
Yeah, so tune into all of those this week. We got a lot of action across all 3 divisions, and we are going to send you to break. When we come back, we've got another JUCO hard 90 seconds for Noah Sharp as we get into some more college baseball action. So stay with us.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Welcome back to Junior College Hard 90. We close out today's episode with Noah Sharp. 90 seconds. Go for it.
Okay, definitely ruined it last week. But guys, big shout out to the guys over at the Frisco Classic. They're always super nice to me. I mean, being a local guy, it's awesome. But definitely was there for the junior college guys and to say hey to fellow junior college guy, good old Andrew Riddell, the Team Australian player development guy. But I mean, across all the teams, you had Johnny Lim from South Suburban, Bryce Fowler from Pearl River, All-American. Over at Oregon State, you had AJ Singer, Nyan Hayes from Howard, Ryan Hubbard from Northwest Florida, Singer over there at Iowa Western. Houston, you had, I believe, pitcher of the year in 23, Ryan Rodriguez from Weatherford, and Cade Climate, the hero from Blind's national championship team there at Houston. And then basically the entire Southeastern alumni base plays for Iowa, and Caleb Wolf. And then, I mean, head coach Schulte over there, his son's there on Iowa's roster. And then crazy week of things that happened. East Central played Meridian. First off, it was Coach Neil Holman's 600th win, so congrats on that. But Meridian was up 18-11 against East Central in the bottom of the 7th. East Central scored 9 runs in the bottom of the 7th with a grand slam to go up 20-18. The final score of that game was 29-18 with a walk-off grand slam in the 8th. Talk about a crazy 2 innings of baseball. I wish I would have seen it. I got that text and was like, that is a wild chain of events for probably a span of 30 minutes. But yeah, this one's over, but it's whatever. I had to get all that in.
Yeah, only in junior college are you seeing stuff like that happen. And then it's great to see all of the junior college alums shining at the next level. That was an awesome tournament. Just all over, people were talking about it. So that's all we got for this week. Episode 2 in the books, and we'll be back again next week to recap another eventful week in NJCAA baseball. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you then.